So if you have been paying attention to my last few videos, I've been working with Airsoft Fatty. Prior to that, 2 weeks ago, I created a video called Healing Toxic Shame, Affirmations and Awareness, or Awareness and Affirmations. And my whole goal of this series is to offer several modalities which will all help heal toxic shame. The reason why I'm offering so many different modalities is I believe that not one practice is absolutely going to be the thing that heals you. For a lot of us, we need a culmination of a few of these practices. Some of us may only need to adhere to one and sprinkle in a few every so often. But in my case, and what I've observed from a lot of people, is we need several different practices. Sometimes they're necessary, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're appropriate, and sometimes they fade away and you need to focus on something else. So this is going to be the second video in a series that talks about healing toxic shame, and this practice is what I will call action. While I do believe that it is completely healing to be aware of our toxic shame and then speak the things into existence that we want to be true, that works very good. While I believe that's awesome, I do think that we need to practice action as well. I will use a quick example to sort of highlight this idea. I am someone that used to be very underweight. I'm 6'1". A lot of my life I would weigh about 150 pounds, 160 pounds. And I would try to tell myself I am lovable, I am beautiful. In hindsight, I still believe that that's true. And I don't think that this version of me now is more divine or acceptable or lovely than the last version, but I'm more happy now from taking action to combat that weight loss rather than just trying to tell myself that it was okay. Now, I'm not saying that this is not okay or okay for people. You need to come to that decision within yourself. And what I saw for me was that the correct lesson was to take the actions to gain muscle, to gain weight, because that produced a lot more happiness and serenity than if I would have just sat there and told myself, you're okay. Because if someone's struggling in life and you tell them, oh, the hell that you're living in is okay, it's almost like you're trying to condone the very thing that's causing them a lot of suffering, where the lesson is to take action to change the very thing that's causing you hell. And this is the point that I'm trying to make, that there are several different principles, modalities, practices, whatever you want to call them, that are all beautiful, all necessary, all applicable, but not all at the same time. In some situations, they're not all applicable, and sometimes they're not necessary or they're not appropriate. So the modality of action I have found to be one of the most transformative in my life, because I suffered from low self-esteem. I needed esteemable actions to show me and to prove to myself, to give myself evidence that I'm a good guy, that I'm lovable, that I am worthy, that I am important, that I can provide and give back to society. I think for me as a man, or actually I'm not going to say as a man, as a human, it's important for me to feel that I'm contributing. And when I wasn't contributing, it almost made me feel like I'm useless or not needed. And that's a really hollow feeling, because in this life, I'm prone to have an existential crisis. I'm prone to sort of say, screw it, what's the point of all this? Why am I here? And if I don't have something deeper guiding me, and if I don't have a deeper reason to get me up in the morning, then this whole thing doesn't even seem worth it. So I needed to start to take actions, whether it's a hobby, or being there for a friend, or a project that I wanted to work on, or doing my best in a career, or volunteering my time. These things got me concerned about society. They got me concerned about my life. I had to push through the fear and the doubt of my own self-hatred to do these things. And then once I gained some evidence over a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, it built my self-esteem, and I saw, man, wow, I am important. I am necessary. I am vital. Society needs me. And that dramatically changed my self-esteem. I started to hold my head high. I was no longer isolated. I was no longer a slave to my own inaction. And how you get to that point, I just think it's pain. If you're watching this video sincerely, it's because you've had enough pain. I think that you're ready to make a change in your life. And I hope you do it. Now, maybe there's something that you've done that you're ashamed of. Maybe it's something where you hurt somebody, or you stole, or you lied in the workplace, or you didn't uphold a promise to yourself. The lesson isn't to just say, oh, it's okay, because trying to use awareness and affirmations when you almost have this soul guilt, I don't believe is the correct practice. I think the practice is to take the actions to set those wrongs right. Go to the people that you hurt and apologize. Go to the store that you stole from and give back the money. Go to the family member that you've been neglecting and ask them how they're doing. Go to the friend that maybe you were disingenuous with or that you slandered. Go apologize to them, make it right. The promises that you broke to yourself. Maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do that you never did and you keep putting it off. Maybe you need to do it. Maybe you don't need to tell yourself, oh, it's okay, I'll get to it next week. It's all right. Get to it. Take the action. Do it. Show yourself a little bit of love in that tiny action. I mean, fortune favors the bold. The universe will literally reconstruct itself and bend itself to lend its gifts to you if you just take that action. And not even that much is needed. You don't need to climb Mount Everest. You can take a few humble, realistic actions in your life that will dramatically change how you feel. Absolutely. So I hope you guys got something from this. It is not really a subject that I can just keep rambling on. It's pretty simple. If there are things that you are deeply ashamed of because you feel that it is wrong and there's some guilt kind of honoring that feeling, then listen to that guilt. I would call that godly shame, not toxic shame. Listen to that guilt and go make it right. And if that's not the case, if it's inaction and you're just feeling a general uselessness, like you're not contributing to life, then I would take any action at this point. Anything to get you out of bed, get you out of your house, anything new at all to show yourself that you're worth it, that you're necessary, that you're important, and that you're contributing. So I hope this helped. Guys, stay tuned. Next week, I will be doing another video on healing toxic shame with a different modality and practice. I hope this helped you. Thank you so much.